ሰላም እንደምሰነበታችሁ አዲሱ ደረሰነኝ ከራይዝ አዲስ ፖድካስት ዛሬ ይዤላችሁ የመጣሁት እንግዳ ትንሽ ለየት
So this project we were planning to put a new project for pet recycling in Ethiopia, and we could not find the waste. The waste was not available.
Your father was working as a businessman in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So what was the experience like?
Logistics is very expensive in Ethiopia. There's a lot of raw material available outside of Addis, but getting it into Addis is a big problem. We were just the other day we were talking with the Oromia government and Oromia EPA, and we showed them that see the value of waste that just 20% of your state is generating is almost $70 million USD.
This is a very labor-intensive practice.
Yeah.
It has been a very labor-intensive practice,
Yes.
and now we are bringing this technology into it. ሰላም እንደምሰነበታችሁ አዲሱ ደረሰነኝ ከራይዝ አዲስ ፖድካስት ዛሬ ይዤላችሁ የመጣሁት እንግዳ ትንሽ ለየት ይላል። ኦፍ ኮርስ ለየት የሚለው በመትሰራው ስራ አይደለም። ዩካን የተባለ መተግበሪያን ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ አስተዋውቃለች። ግን ይሄኛው ኤፒሶድ ለየት የሚያደርገው በእንግሊዘኛ የሚካሄድና ከዛ በአማርኛ ተተርጉሞ የሚቀርብ ነው የሚሆነው። ሶ በዛ ደረጃ ተመልካቾቻችን ትንሽ ግራ እንዳትጋቡ ለማለት ያክል ነው። ሶ ኒሃ thank you very much for coming.
Thanks Aidul, thanks for calling me.
So Niha and I actually know each other very well. I would say very well now.
Yeah. We have been working for almost 3 months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have been working on the YouCan project for I think more than 3 months now.
Yeah.
And that's how I came to learn about YouCan and the incredible job that you have been doing so far. And through that process, I also have learned a little bit about you. But for the sake of our audience, I'm just going to ask you to introduce yourself. This is not for me.
Yeah, okay. So I'm Niharika, and I'm the founder of YouCan. So basically it's a platform we have built for buying and selling waste online. We have built an exchange for waste so that we can recover more resources directly from the source and make sure more gets recycled. Our ultimate aim is to make sure there are no landfills, make sure nothing enters the environment, no waste enters the environment. So that is why we built this platform.
Yeah.
I have been working on this for almost 7 years now, and in 2003 we finally came out with this app and this platform which we launched last year as a pilot in Addis with the help of the city administration's cleansing management agency, and currently we are working very closely with Oromia EPA.
Yes, we are going to talk a lot about YouCan and the problem and the solution, and of course the ambition and the vision behind it. But before that, just where were you born, and what kind of childhood did you have vis-a-vis creating businesses, creating startups and all that, so entrepreneurship side.
Yeah.
So can you take us through that part of your life as an individual?
Sure. I was born in India. I grew up in India, and I studied in the US. I'm an engineer, so I studied my engineering in the US. I was born in a business family, so I'm still working with my family business. I came to Ethiopia because of that. I'm running my family business over here, and so entrepreneurship was inculcated in us since childhood. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. Even though I'm an engineer, I wanted to work in my family business. So I actually started working with my mother, who's a floriculturist. And
what did you do with your mother when you started out?
I was looking at the business part, the exports, looking at new markets for the product. She used to grow roses in India. So we came to Ethiopia for a floriculture project, but we have not entered floriculture, we have entered all other businesses. my family's traditional business has been commodity trading. So, and even my father has been involved with that. But I'm more into manufacturing. I prefer manufacturing, growing, agriculture. So this project, we were planning to put a new project for pet recycling in Ethiopia, and we could not find the waste. The waste was not available. So we dig deeper into it, and we find that the major problem is there's no collection. So that is why, after going researching a lot into this, all the problems that people were facing locally who already have been in the recycling business, we saw that there's no collection and the raw material is not available, even though it is there, it is present in the country, but it is just not collected.
Yeah.
So that is how I came up with this project.
Yeah. So let me take you a little bit back to your family again.
Yeah.
before YouCan.
Yeah.
Your father was working as a businessman in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So what was the experience like, and how do you think your father has influenced your views and your decision making process, and in general your business practices and your interest in entrepreneurship?
So actually, I saw this growing up. Not just my father, even my grandfather, my mother, most of my family is in business. So that's what we saw growing up. And when my father came to Ethiopia, he came here in 2005 to set up business. At that time, I was working with my mother in India, and we came here. We saw some good opportunities, and he took that risk to invest over here. And when we came over here, it was heaven. There were a lot of opportunities. Ethiopia, I mean, it's still there are a lot of opportunities, and people were very nice, and the government was also very supportive at the time, because they were looking for new investors. So I was already in the business when he came over here, so I joined him since day one. But I've been living here for past 7 years. So now I'm looking at starting some new things. Yeah.
So of yourself. So YouCan is your creation, your something that you created from scratch and trying to grow by yourself.
Yes.
So let's start talking about YouCan then. So of course you told me how the initial idea was to work on some other area, and then so you realized that you actually needed this to be able to do even the other stuff.
Yes.
So tell us about that moment when you realize, okay, we really need platforms like YouCan.
Yeah, so like I said, when we were researching about that project and we were looking for the raw material we could not find it locally. There wasn't enough. In fact, the industries that were already existing, they were all running at low capacity because they couldn't get their hands on the raw material. Some have already shut down. Another problem that we saw was the internal issues, like logistics is very expensive in Ethiopia. There's a lot of raw material available outside of Addis, but getting it into Addis is a big problem. And most of the industries are in Addis, in and around Addis. So keeping the costs down of the raw material was one thing we were looking at. Secondly, we saw that most of the waste is not segregated. People are putting everything in one bag and throwing it away, and the segregation happens at the collection centers, not at the source, which is why it's also getting contaminated. A lot of the material that gets contaminated cannot be recycled. So with all these issues, we came up with this idea that yes, if we start segregating it at the source, then we can recover more resources, and we can run more industries with that. Industries can get raw material. Another thing we saw was we saw that people did not have the resources for the collection. There was not enough waste collection happening. Even today, there's not happening much. I mean, in a city as big as Addis Ababa, there are some areas that collection happens twice in a week or sometimes once in a week. In a city as big as this, collection should happen every day, you know.
Of course.
But it is not happening. There are certain areas that collect some days, certain areas that collect some days. It should happen every day. So we wanted to make sure that
that is because if the waste is going to stay too long at residence, at these places where we cannot manage it very well, the quality will be affected.
That gets affected when everything gets mixed. And
yes.
like I said, there's no segregation happening.
Yes. Yeah.
There are now, because of there's some awareness and people are paying the collectors, they are all collecting the PET bottles. But there are other things that they should be segregating, like paper, like glass. It should not be mixed together. So right now, if you go to see a landfill, you see all waste mixed together, especially plastic packets, the fistal that they call it over here. So that is like highly polluting. And most of the waste is just lying out in the sun. It's getting exposed to the sun, so it is not environmentally friendly. So that is why we want to make sure that the waste gets collected on time and it's segregated and clean, uncontaminated waste, so that we can give it to the recycling companies for recycling and reusing. Another thing, that the whole reason behind putting a value to that waste was, we want people to start thinking. Today, if I tell somebody just segregate your waste, they'll be like, why should I do it? It's not my job. Generally, that's the attitude of people. And that is everywhere, not just in Ethiopia. It is worldwide. Most developed nations also don't do it. So, like I said, I grew up in India. So, in India, we never throw our newspapers away. I've been seeing that since I was a little kid. Nobody throws the newspaper away. It's all collected. At the end of the month or whenever it's enough, it goes to the paper scrap dealer and they pay you a small amount for it. Now that small amount probably makes no difference to anybody. For the amount you are paying for the paper, you probably don't get even 10% back. But they are still doing it. Even today it's being done. So just using that theory, like if you are putting a small value to something, even though it's not much, people start thinking. So that is how we are trying to create awareness amongst the people, that this thing has value, don't waste it, and we are giving you a small amount for it if you segregate it. And even when we are working with the local collectors, like we keep telling them that, see, you are taking from them, you are paying people to segregate it when everything is mixed together. So just pay them and take the segregated waste from them, you know, so that nothing is mixed and you'll get more material. So that is how we are working even with the collectors and the people on the ground. So we are working on the ground with the municipality, with the collectors, with the local people, individuals, industries. So we are getting a good positive response from everyone, and we hope this continues and we can make a difference with just, we are creating an impact, we are creating jobs with this. So we hope we can create that impact on the environment with this.
Yeah. So I love the idea, because this is one of the ideas that focus on efficiency. You know, of course, as far as doing it is concerned, we have been doing it before. Addis Ababa has been relatively cleaner in the past few years. I'm particularly talking about the plastic waste issues. You know, we have been collecting them. So if you go like 7, 8, 10 years back, it was just you know, plastic bottles everywhere.
Yes.
Now we don't see them often. We don't see them much. But as far as doing it is concerned, we are doing it, but we are not doing it the right way or the more efficient way. So I love it, because you know, it is more of focused on efficiency to the very end output.
So like when you mentioned that people are not throwing, you don't see plastic bottles anywhere, because people are getting something for it. Today if somebody is collecting it and they're giving it to someone, they're getting paid for it.
Exactly.
You know, that is not happening with other waste. Today you can use most of the other waste somewhere, and you can use it for regeneration, recycling, reusing or something. Now only the PET bottle is not, you're not seeing it on the ground, but you're seeing other waste on the ground.
Of course.
You're still seeing plastic packets on the ground. Even though Ethiopia has banned it just recently. But even if you go like to the landfills and stuff, there's a lot of plastic bags available. There's a lot of film available because it's a packaging material most widely used. So you cannot get rid of the plastic, but there are ways to reuse them and recycle them. So if it is collected properly, like how people are collecting the bottles right now. Now in the Addis area, the bottles are getting collected. What about the outside? Like I met a company that recycles plastic bottles. They're like, there's so much available in Afar, but there's no way to get it over here. One, reaching them is a problem. Secondly, the transportation logistics cost is way too high. It doesn't make sense to bring it over here. Recycling has to be local. It has to be within like 100 or 200 kilometers radius. It has to be done within that range for it to be feasible. So, but in Ethiopia, most of the industries are based around Addis Ababa, not outside. So today we are wasting all that from Afar or from the southern regions where there's no recycling happening. So we are trying to find ways how we can get those back into Addis, or start something over there and make it feasible to bring it over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know this girl, a young woman who launched a startup, which is basically focused on process efficiency. Exactly what you say.
Yeah.
This is not only true in the waste management sector.
Yeah.
It is true almost
in most sectors.
In
most
every
sectors,
manufacturing sector. So the place where you get the raw materials and the place where you are producing the main product is just too far away.
Yeah.
So she came up with this idea of processing the raw material one step upper. So she introduced a container based processing facilities right after the farms, because farms are where she gets her raw materials. And then she processes it into a very small bottle, at least into the next liquid form. And then she transports that, and she says that's more feasible.
It is more feasible.
Have you considered that?
Yes.
Are you looking into
That's
into
exactly what we are trying to do.
Okay.
Instead of putting the whole recycling plant in that area, we are planning to process it into smaller, into compatible bags and then supply it. Because right now, if we transport the bottles in one truck, you don't get more than 2 tons, which is very, very low.
Very low. Yeah.
If we compact it and if we crush it and we compact it, then we can easily do like 10 to 15 tons easily. So we are trying to do that. It will take some time because reaching those areas is a bit difficult, but it can happen. And if the government supports us, that will be much easier. In this way, you are also creating an income source for the people in those areas. Right now, it's just lying there and people don't have jobs, So this is also creating a job for those people in that area, in the remote areas, and creating a source of income. And helping the environment and the government.
Of course, of course. I think that's going to be more interesting. And as much as it is going to be more feasible. So waste and trash are usually seen as a problem, right? Not really some sort of valuable stuff.
True.
We all think about just getting rid of it, and who cares where. That's how we do it. But so I know you are very much active in Bishoftu now. And Adama too. So how do you get the response of this idea of turning trash into treasure? So in Bishoftu and in Adama, not just on the policy makers level, but also average citizens and all that.
Okay, so we did a study, and also we took some reports done by the Addis Ababa University and GIZ, and we showed the government what they are losing. We started with the Oromia EPA. We showed them the value that they are losing in just throwing the waste away. first you are losing the value in throwing the waste away, and then you are spending money on disposing that waste off. So you have double loss over there, you know. Now what we are telling the collectors, the government, the municipality, whenever we present to them, we tell them what can be done with this waste. You can use organic waste for biogas generation. That's green energy. You can use it for biofertilizers. You will not need chemical fertilizers. It's a replacement. Then we tell them all these bottles, you can give it to the recycling companies. They want it and you are throwing it away. We are telling them all things like glass. There's not much glass recycling happening over here. There aren't that many companies. But that's an opportunity for you. You can start glass recycling. It's very easy to recycle. Textiles. You don't see a lot of textiles thrown away in Ethiopia, but still there is textile waste available. So you can recycle textile waste. Most products that people are throwing away can be recycled. Then what cannot be recycled or should not be recycled, there's an incinerator for that. The incinerator is also generating energy for you. Right? So ultimately you are recycling everything or using waste to energy plants to make sure that no waste enters the environment. And in that way there are no landfills. You know, that is the approach we are taking, that we are convincing the government that if you do this, it benefits everybody. You know, today Ethiopia, most countries generate a lot of organic waste, but they are not using it for generating biogas. Whether it's awareness or whether they just don't want to do it or what it is, I don't know. However, there are many biogas plants in Ethiopia. From our study, we have heard that there are more than 45,000 of them available in Ethiopia, already installed in Ethiopia. But only I think 2,000 or something are working. So why is it not working? Today so many were installed, what happened to them? Because it's actually a very efficient system and a very simple system. So why is it not working? So we take all these, we raise all these points and discuss it with the government and the municipality, and we show them the value that they are losing. Today we were, just the other day we were talking with the Oromia government and Oromia EPA, and we showed them that, see, the value of waste that just 20% of your state is generating is almost $70 million USD. Even if you take like 10% of that, that's $7 million. So that is the amount of money you are losing by just throwing everything into the environment. And you are paying people to throw it into the environment. You know, so that's why they are working so closely with us. They are supporting us.
Okay. How's the reception among the people?
They are positive. Because like I said, when you put value to something and you give them something, they start thinking about it. So they are positive. Now the collectors initially were a bit skeptical. They were like, you're taking our jobs away and we are getting it for free. Why should we pay for it? We showed them the benefits. We are like, okay, you're getting it for free, but you are segregating it yourself and you are segregating dirty crap and you're paying other people to do it. Here I'm telling people to segregate it. So instead of you paying the people to segregate it at the collection center, I'm making them do it at the source. So you're getting more material and clean material, and you can immediately take it and sell it off. You know, you don't have to take it back, then take it out and then sell it. So now they are working with us. Now they are more positive and they see the benefits, and that is why they are more enthusiastic about it. It's gonna take a long time. It's not so easy. We have to convince a lot of people, especially the people on the ground. So, but it is with the help of the government we can do it. And since the government is helping us, we are moving ahead. Yeah.
So now let's bring it down to a more practical level. So, assume my home, my residence, and the kind of waste that I generate.
Yeah.
So what do we mean by segregation, and what kind of waste are we generating at residence level, and what can we actually do to be able to do it right?
Okay.
Let's start there.
So in your house, most of the waste generated is organic waste. Okay, then there'll be some bottles, sometimes there'll be some paper, sometimes there'll be some glass. Glass, most people give it back to the shopkeeper when
Of course.
they finish it or they replace it.
Yeah.
Mostly these are the waste that is available in or some medical waste or sanitary waste that is available. So if people can just start segregating their wet waste and the dry waste, and plastic separately, paper separately, and the organic waste separately, that's a start. So in a household it is very easy because you don't have too much of different kinds of waste. You're not throwing your clothes away every day. You are not throwing away metals every day. You're not throwing away your phone every day. Like e-waste is a big recycling opportunity. However, I don't see it happening in Ethiopia. I have not heard of anybody doing e-waste recycling over here. So that's a big opportunity. But you're not throwing your phone away every day. So the only waste you're generating in your house is mostly organic, some plastic and some paper, most of the time. So if you can just segregate that, and if people can collect it separately, you are putting value to paper, you're not throwing it away. You are putting value to plastic, you're not throwing it away. And organic waste, currently there is not organic waste recycling happening. Like there's no processing centers for organic waste, not much. So yes, that gets thrown into the landfill, but our ultimate aim is to make sure that also gets to a place where it can be processed for biogas and biofertilizers. Another thing is we want to make sure that even in the households, like there's this thing called responsible consumption. Like
What does that mean?
They come out with new jargon every day. I just think that people keep saying that reduce your waste. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yes.
This is not going to happen. People are going to, if their income increases, people are going to start consuming more.
Yes.
The consumption only goes up. So you cannot stop people from consuming what they want to consume.
Exactly.
But you can make sure that it is getting disposed properly.
Yes.
It's getting reused. That is something we can assure.
Of course.
But we can't tell people to reduce your waste.
Yeah, I cannot imagine myself. I want to do so. I mean, I want to eat. I want to consume something, but somehow the waste is on my head, and no, I don't want to consume. No,
that's not going to happen. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Today you have food delivery systems, right? Most of the food delivery happens in boxes. There's packaging material involved.
Of course.
Initially there weren't. So you would just cook at home or you'll go to a restaurant. That packaging was missing. But now that packaging is available and it is adding extra to your consumption.
Exactly.
So it's not going to go away.
Yes.
It's only going to stay there, and it's going to only increase. So you cannot stop people from consumption. That's what we tell people. But you can be responsible in throwing that what you're using, disposing it off more efficiently and effectively, so that it doesn't affect the environment. That's what we are trying to do.
That's the more viable way. So let's talk about the application now.
Yeah.
So can you take us through how it works? What people need to do? People who are watching this. What is the first thing they can do, and what they should expect from while interacting with the application, and of course the benefit they get out of it, and how the whole thing works.
Yeah. So it's a very simple app. We have kept it very simple, and it's free. There's no subscription of any kind. Whenever you have some waste available, you request a pickup. You add the waste on the app. The categories are there. You just you put your address, you put your time when you want it picked up, the time and date, and you request a pickup. Now, at that time, whoever is the closest collector to you will come and pick it up from you. He will verify what you have entered, the weight and everything, make sure the waste that he's collecting is what he wants. And then he will complete the transaction, and you immediately get paid. It's all cashless. It all happens online. But everything happens in real time and immediately. So it's a very simple app. As soon as you request a pickup, somebody will come and pick it up from you.
Yes. So at home, I have segregated my waste.
Yeah.
Now the papers are in one bag. These metal
Yeah.
waste is in one. Other organic waste is in another bag, and of course the plastics go into another bag. And then I've get it ready. I have the application on my phone, and then I'm going to request a pickup.
Yeah.
And whoever is nearer to my residence is going to get us
get a message that you have requested a pickup.
Okay, so this works via SMS?
No, it's online. It's real time. It's like how you have Uber.
Oh.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about the waste collectors? Does it work seamlessly? Because do they have smartphones? How do they get the message? Do they have other means of communication?
Yeah, so people we are working with, not everybody has a smartphone, but most, like there are some people who do. Like in one group, there'll be at least 2 or 3 smartphones that people have. And so we tell them that, okay, if all of you don't have it, it's fine. At least 1 or 2 of you have it. So start there, you know. And for us, that is one of the challenges that we are facing, is the usage of smartphone and the availability of smartphone. But people do have it. It's not that it's completely not available. And now communication is not a problem. Data is available in most places where we are working. And so we don't face that challenge as much. But yes, when we start moving outside of Addis Ababa, or maybe a little out into the rural areas, we might face that challenge a little bit more. Yeah.
So I think you would benefit, or the whole process would benefit a lot more from, for example, integrating a call center.
Yeah.
That would, especially in cities like Addis Ababa, where if and when this happens at a larger scale, we're going to integrate. We need to integrate all the communication tools that we have.
Yes, of course.
Are you considering that? Yes.
We are considering that. We are also considering a web portal. We are also converting this into a web portal, so it will be easier if you don't have the app. Or many times we face this problem that the phone is not compatible. It's a very old phone. It's not compatible with the app. So you can just go on the browser and use it. The same app, you can use it on the browser. So we are in the process of building that also. And mostly we don't face issues in Addis as much. We face these issues mostly outside of Addis. Addis, most people are plugged in. Yeah, they all have smartphones, especially if you see the young generation. Most people have smartphones. The people we are working with, the collectors that we are working with right now in Bishoftu and in Adama, they have smartphones. Also, some of them are quite educated. They speak quite well. They are working quite well. They are quite efficient. So they are seeing an opportunity out of this. That yes, I can do a lot more with this. So the call center, of course, when we start a full-fledged, right now we are just starting.
Yes.
And call center has to be there for any other queries or any problems that customers or people face or collectors face. So that will be there. But
the reason why I brought that up is I can see, especially in cities like Addis Ababa, I can see this best fits to our housemates.
Yeah.
Even after I started working with you and got to know you about Yukan and everything, I have thought about segregating waste. I've thought about I'm looking at my waste bin every time I go in and go out.
Good to know.
I am not still doing it
yes.
Even as aware as I am, I have become these past few months. I'm not doing it, or I'm not doing it so efficiently to be able to sell it. But this works perfectly with our housemates.
Yes.
One, because 100 birr, 200 birr, 300 birr, or 500 birr kind of value is a very good value for a housemate.
Yes.
She could buy her
airtime.
Yes. She could call her parents. So that's a very good value for a housemate.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about making it easier for them to be able to communicate with Yukan and somehow seamlessly work through this because that would make a lot more sense for them. Yeah.
So I have a housemaid, and they both have smartphones.
Yeah.
And most of my staff that I see who I'm working with, almost 90% of them have smartphones, even the laborers that we work with. So, like I said, in Addis Ababa, the area is not a problem. Now, what you mentioned, that yes, it is more beneficial for the housemates. Yes, it is. But then you can also help them. You know, you can put it up, let them segregate it. You can put it up for the pickup, and it just seamlessly goes. The transaction goes seamlessly. Yeah. But and in that way, they get the benefit of the waste that they are selling, and segregating, because they are the one doing the work. Another thing is, what was I saying? We have we are trying to. There's another feature in the app with which you can donate it. For example, you are segregating it, but you don't want it. We were working with one of the hotel chains in Ethiopia, one of the biggest ones, and they said that we are donating more of our app, but we want to know what we are donating. We want to know how much we are collecting. So I said, okay, we can put in a donation feature. So we put in a donation feature for that. So if you don't want to get paid for it, you can just use that feature, and the value becomes 0.
That's excellent.
And you can just give it to the person who's collecting it for free. So in that way, you're also helping the person. You are segregating it, but you don't want the money, you can give it to somebody else.
That's excellent.
That's another feature that we have on it.
Yes, and you can integrate the institutions or that are currently asking for donations. I know, for example, this center for senior people. They have been collecting donations. They have been on a donation campaign. They have integrated their donation campaigns with so many initiatives, and they have been successful through the years. So if we can attach some sort of meaning to it, you know, so yes, $500 is not
much for you,
much for me, but somehow, how about I can donate it to this cause that so that would somehow be
help.
Very great.
So we are just making it an option for donation, but they have to take it and then sell it. But we have not yet tied up with any of the local NGOs that we will, whatever we collect, we give it to them. But if you want, you can go ahead and do it. We are just giving you the platform where you can sell it. And you can make some money out of it. If you don't want that money, you can go and donate it anywhere you want.
That's also is going to be. I think that's going to be also very interesting. Again, I gave you myself as an example. Waste segregation is not like a second nature to Ethiopians. Not only to Ethiopians. I believe this probably works
worldwide. It's not second nature to most people. I don't think 95% of the people in the world are segregating.
Most human beings are not very much natural connection with waste segregation. But how do you see the challenge there? How do you get through that? And one thing I want you to consider in responding to that is how about the facilities? For example, I have a very small residence. So it is a one bedroom residence. I have my own bathroom and a living room, and then I have a kitchen. But my compound is just so small. You cannot even imagine how small it is. And usually, what gets into my mind is the facility. Okay, let me segregate it. But I do not have that facility. It's not only about the size, but those cute waste segregation management, bins or something. So, do you think that support in that area, probably in collaboration with other companies who are interested in this, do you think facilitating the waste segregation at the residence level could help? But in general, how are the people receiving this waste segregation practice?
Okay, so a household does not generate a lot. There is a limited one, like you said. But when you say that there is limited space, yes, there is limited space, which is why we are telling people that it should be collected every day. The whole idea behind collection every day is nothing stays in one place. So you're not collecting too much of it in one place. It doesn't stay there for very long. It keeps moving, right? So when you are segregating it, that collection that happens every day, even if one truck comes around the city, they can collect a whole truck full of waste, of segregated waste which can be recycled. So more people will be interested in that. Even though it's not much, but if you take it from the whole city, it's a lot. For you, it's not much, it's a small amount. But if you take your building, or if you take your community,
hotel,
or if you take a hotel, hotel of course, but even if you take your whole community, like when we are working in Bishoftu, now in one house, they collect it once in a week. In one house, there isn't much. But when you take it from like 20 different houses or 100 different houses, there's a lot. So if those 100 houses, they collect it at one place, instead of leaving it in their house, it's very easy for people to take it from there. And a lot is collected. Then you will see that you will need to pick it up every day. There'll be that need to pick it up every day. So with this, because we are showing people what is available where, it is easier for them to come and collect it. Because right now, I don't know whether you have it or not, or I don't know where it is available. But with this, when we are making it available on the map, that so much space is available over here and so much space is available over there, it's easier for people to come and pick it up. Today collecting just 100 kgs of PET bottles or plastic is not feasible. I can't send a truck for that. But when I know there's 100 kgs available in all this area, around this area, then it's easy, it's more feasible for me. I can collect a whole lot and it becomes more feasible.
So and how about that? I'm also thinking about a potential collaboration with initiatives, both national, regional and global initiatives that work on the environment and climate change and all that, in providing these tools that would make it easier for waste segregation. So are you considering that? Because if resources make things, make things more efficient, and also usually resources force you to consider things. If I have, for example, a very fancy waste bins, it would be a lot easier.
It will be more attractive
exactly.
for you to segregate it.
Exactly. So I know that is going to be a huge investment for YouCan. You cannot do it by yourself. But are you considering potential collaborations because people are throwing money on climate change initiatives?
But as unfortunate as it sounds, we have not been able to get anything from anybody yet. We got some, we haven't got anything, we are just doing it ourselves right now. And yes, like you said, we have to provide a lot of tools to these people so that they can collect properly and people can start segregating. We have to provide them with the bins. So we are asking people we don't need your help, but you can help them. You can donate for the collectors, you can donate like collection bags or bins where it can be collected easily. So we are asking people for that, but we haven't gotten much of a response yet. But hopefully we will, and because we're going to start asking the recycling companies to help us with this, because they're the ones benefiting the most. So if they can help us with the collection tools and the equipment, then it will be great. And some people have shown interest in that. Like we were talking with one PET recycling company last week, and they were very interested, and they offered us a baling machine. They're like, we'll just give it to you. If you have the material and you can provide us with the material, a lot of material, we'll give it to you. So that way people are always willing to help. But when it comes to like funds and climate change investments, we have not gotten anything yet.
But it's also, I think I should consider this too. We are going to talk about this in length maybe some other time.
Sure.
I think there is also a possibility to collaborate with the private sector. There are people who manufacture these beans, but they do not indicate the idea of waste segregation on the bins. You know, for the offices buy these plastic bins, you know, residences buy these plastic bins, but there is nothing that actually inspires you towards the idea of a very small step of, like, for example, having a writing on these bins, like the dry waste here, the wet waste here, or maybe put the plastic here, put, you know, very small steps could actually have a significant impact, and we can lobby the private sector on this, people who are manufacturing this.
Yes, so we wanted to show them what we are doing before we go to them. Like, I'm also a private sector. We are also a private sector company. We are not an NGO.
Of course, yes.
And we are not a social enterprise. We are a for-profit private sector company. I think that is one of the reasons we don't get anything from these funds for free. You know, if we were an NGO, it will be much easier for us. But we don't want to be there. We don't want our company to be funded by aid. We want, I think, Africa and the whole world needs to move over the aid economy.
Yes.
And, you know, start actual investment economy. People should be able to invest. They should see the value that we are giving them and the returns they're going to get. Not just environmentally friendly, but also economic returns, you know. So we want to make sure we are creating that social, economic and environmental impact at the same time. However, to do that, we have to first show people what we are doing. So when we have results, we can take it to them and show them that this is what we are doing. We are not just talking about it, you know, because many climate or environmental projects, they end up failing.
Yes.
Many of them fail simply because they are not sustainable.
Yes.
A project has to be sustainable on its own. You cannot just keep asking for money, outside money. It has to start generating money on its own for it to be successful and sustainable.
Yes.
So that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to make sustainability sustainable first and show this to people, and then take advantage of that, what we have already proven to them that this works, and then show them that this is a model that it will be profitable, that will be long time. It won't just shut down tomorrow.
Yeah.
So because now we are, since we have started working in Bishoftu and Adama, we are seeing people getting more and more interested. Now we can take this to the private sector and we can tell them that yes, we are doing this. So we don't need your help, but if you can help these collectors and these places, or you can put some bins somewhere, donate some bins for them, it will be helpful for us and for them.
Yeah, I think there definitely is going to be potential collaboration with the private sector. And about what you said about aid is absolutely right.
Yeah.
You know where that is leading us? Looks like we're at a bad place. Many of our sectors dependent on aid have been at limbo.
Yeah.
So confused as to what they should do next.
Yeah.
So
when you get too dependent on aid, you don't know how, you don't bother about using any other means when you can do it. You know?
Exactly.
So
and we also know about the biogas project in this country.
Yes.
That was that was initiated, fully supported by aid money, while more than 90% of it, I think, now is out of service.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
When you come with just the aid money, there's, I don't know how responsibility is getting used. What is happening after you are installing it? What happens after? Are people still using it? Today in the private sector, if I'm getting a machine and if I don't run it, or if I sell it off, or I do something, the government or the tax office will be behind my life, because they audit our books like quite rigorously, you know. But when it comes to the aid sector, or who's auditing those biogas plants? You have installed 45,000 of them. Where are they? 45,000 means you won't have electricity issues in most of the places.
That was the
you will not have energy issues. You know, you will have light forever. Where are they? So that's why I could have started this as an NGO also. But the whole idea behind it, making it a private sector, was we want to make sure people are responsible about what we are doing. and we want accountability to what we are doing. We are bringing accountability to the whole system.
Yes.
That's why we made it a for-profit company rather than a non-profit company.
Yes, the biogas issue is very. That's like a perfect example on how we need to design our business models whenever we want to start something.
And Ethiopia has a separate biogas department in your Ministry of Energy and Water.
Yeah.
They have that.
Yes.
So they are really promoting it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a very good example to young entrepreneurs that I have been talking to, that I wanted to create this show for, because designing a product and going after those foundations, trying to get money, and then you get money, and then the money is gone, and then you go to the next one. So now startups have there is a very serious complaint that startups have stopped being a private sector and just become the next small NGOs.
Yeah.
So that is something interesting that people need to consider, right?
Yes. Just 2 days back, I met someone who started a small manufacturing unit, and he got some money through one of the aids. So I just was asking him what happened, how's it going. He's like, I spent that money on other things because I had that need, and now I have stopped the project.
Yes.
So there you go, what you just said. I just experienced it from first hand from someone.
Yeah, and people are just renting a fancy offices right in the middle of the and then the money is gone, and then that's happening a lot. So I think we should learn a lot from that insight that you just gave. I just want to highlight that. So what do you think is the biggest challenge that you have faced so far? I know you are doing great. I know firsthand that you are doing great in Bishoftu and Adama. So what do you think from the things that you have already done, from the engagement with the communities and all that, what do you think is the biggest challenge that you have faced?
Spreading awareness and getting people on board is very difficult. See, first we had anybody, whether it's the government, whether it's the people, whether it's the industry, anybody. We started with the government. We showed them what they are losing and what they can gain. First we convinced them. Then we went on the ground. Then we convinced the local municipality that how this is going to help them. Now we are working with the local people. So we are trying to onboard as many people as we can. Convincing them is a big problem because there's no awareness. Like you said, for me waste is waste. I don't think twice about it. Nobody does. It's not just you. Nobody does. Even I didn't. But now when we see what can be done with it or from it, now we are trying to create that awareness amongst people. Even when we were starting this project, it was quite difficult because first of all, it's tech enabled, so not everybody is technology friendly and they don't want. Then we had some people that are like, we don't want the government to know what we are doing. Okay, then we don't want, we are getting it for free, why should we pay for it? So all these problems, challenges we faced, but now those challenges are out. Now the biggest,
they are easing now.
They are easing now, but more than a challenge, it's our I won't call it a challenge, I'll call it it's our job, that there should be awareness. So creating that awareness is what we are working on right now. Once the awareness is created, it will become much easier. Getting it on the ground in the beginning, it's a big problem. Pushing it out in the market was a problem. But once we start that awareness and once people start seeing how it is helping them, then it will be much easier for us and it will grow much faster. It's that initial first steps that's taking us a long time. Even now, we are working in Adama now. We have to start awareness creation over there. So that will take some time. But once people start understanding, that will spread, then they will spread the word. It will be spread by word of mouth. Yeah.
So this is also interesting as a lesson for people within the startup ecosystem. Yukan, for example, sits upon the awareness of people to segregate waste.
Yes.
It is like directly related.
Yeah.
That awareness is like the foundation of
Yes.
YouCan.
Yes.
And I know I want to share this compliment with you because you are investing also in the awareness campaigns.
Yes.
You know, we are creating so many contents online and writing articles and publishing articles on the newspapers, on the radio. So because you know, even as much as that is taking its own toll on,
Yes.
on the investment,
Yes, of course.
the investment side of it,
Yeah.
you understand
Yeah.
that this thing will not work unless
Yeah.
we are going to also invest on
Yeah.
the awareness. This is not only true for YouCan, it's almost true for every startup,
Yeah.
but unfortunately people don't want to invest on that
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Yeah. For us, the major investment is awareness creation. First, people have to be aware that what we are doing and what is waste and why it should be segregated. Until that awareness doesn't come, our platform has absolutely no use. So that for us, our main job is awareness creation, and fortunately, and we are getting a lot of help from the local municipalities because they have an awareness creation team. Almost all municipalities in Ethiopia have an awareness creation team. So they are helping us to create that awareness, you know. So I would really like to thank them for it. So in that way, yes, we are getting some help, but we need to do more. So now we are running social media campaigns. We are trying to educate the young people, you know, so spread the word. And with that, we are working with what we have.
Yeah.
It is difficult. It is not easy. It is challenging. But yeah, we are doing it. We don't want to stop.
Yeah. No, your campaign actually is a very comprehensive. You
Yeah.
are working with the academia,
Yeah.
you are working with the government,
Yes.
and obviously you are trying to take advantage of your own platforms to
Yeah.
create awareness among the public.
Yes.
So that's just a very, I am a media relations professional,
Yeah.
so I do this for life.
Yes.
So I know how this works,
Yeah.
and it is very good that you actually are trying to bring every side of it to think about it.
Yeah.
So the startups should do that.
Hmm.
You know, that's what I wanted to highlight here, because we cannot just invest on the product, invest on a very great office, and then sit down and wait.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's pretty much what we are having,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we are experiencing with many
Yeah.
startups here. So the sector, the waste management sector, as we know it, has been labor intensive.
Yes.
The supply chain from waste collection and the
Yeah.
landfills, and even the segregation
Yeah.
has been done by many people.
Yes.
You know, doing very small things. Of course, trying to be as careful as they could through the process, but this is a very labor intensive practice. It
Yeah.
has been a very labor intensive practice, and now we're bringing this technology into it. How do you maneuver around that? Because as much as labor intensive it has been, well, something that you have done for the past many years is just what is normal and what is good.
Yeah, so that was one of the challenges we faced when I told you that the collectors were apprehensive that you will take our jobs away.
Yes.
So we were like, no, we are not to take anybody's jobs over here. We are here to create more jobs. So what you said, it is labor intensive, and people are collecting waste from the landfills and the collection centers. The same people, we want them to work with YouCan and collect the waste from the people instead of collecting it and segregating it from the landfills, and you don't know in what conditions they work in. We want to take them out of that area and put them in the place where the waste is initially collected. So let them take it from there instead of manually picking it up from a whole bunch of it, you know. So this way we are creating a job, we are creating an income source for them, and we are making sure that we buy everything, whatever they are taking, it will get sold. They'll get paid for it immediately. They won't have to wait for it. So this is how we are convincing people that when you work with us, it's more beneficial for you, and you don't and more hygienic.
Oh, yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I'd
sure.
like to add one more thing.
Go ahead.
There's somebody told me that even small kids
Mhm.
collect it from the waste that's thrown away, and even they like sell it. So yes, that first of all, we don't want small kids to be doing this,
Yeah.
you know. But that is the way it is being done even today.
Yeah.
So for that, what we tell them is they should not be the one who should be collecting it, but with this help, with this, their parents are doing it. They are getting money for it, you know. So instead of collecting waste, they'll be able to go to school. That will be like a social benefit
Yeah.
in that case.
Yes.
So the bigger picture is that we are helping get small kids off the streets, you know, and put them in schools and get them educated.
Yeah.
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 That's also the social benefit
The
that we're
social
trying
impact.
to.
Yeah. So that it's interesting you said that, because that's a perfect bridge to the next question, and
Yeah.
also something that I want to highlight on, because I remember I once did this article while I was working for a local business magazine. I once did this article about occupational safety,
Yeah.
and there is this metal manufacturing, steel manufacturing plant in Bishoftu. I remember how they told me, because scraps are collected just like
Yeah.
the
For
waste we're
most
talking
steel
about.
plants,
Yeah. So scraps are collected and sold to the manufacturer. Then they reprocess it
Yes.
into. So that's how it works. And I remember once this kid brought an explosive. He unknowingly someone dumped an explosive into
The
that
furnace.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not the furnace. It didn't even reach there.
Okay.
So the kid was collecting scraps to sell.
Yeah.
So the trash was just
Yeah.
right there, and then
He didn't know. He just picked it up and he gave it.
exactly
Yeah.
he picked it up,
Yeah.
and he was just carrying it to the plant, and then it exploded on the way, and the kid got hurt so bad.
Yeah.
And he was being treated at Balcha Hospital here in Addis Ababa. I remember that story.
Okay.
And this solution, actually, that's what I want to talk to you about. The next thing is, it is actually a multi-sectoral thing. We love these solutions, right?
Yeah.
We're developing these solutions. Now, for example, we're talking about occupational safety. We're talking about the environment. We're talking about job creation, because from the very resident level, people could just make money.
Yeah.
And of course, we are talking about recycling, waste management. So, how do you recognize that complexity, and are you operating upon a strategy that actually recognizes, that we are a solution that's actually working within this complexity?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That's a solution we are working on right now. We want to make sure that we create jobs for people, paying jobs. And like I mentioned, we don't want kids to be on the streets collecting the trash. Most people do it because they don't have incomes. But if their parents start having income, or they start generating enough, then they don't have to send their kids, small kids, to work, like you just said.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, social benefit, social impact is something we are very much working on, and with this we know we can do it. We are trying to create an economy out of waste, so we are making it available as a raw material. We are by putting value to it. So by just, it's like you're becoming an entrepreneur. You are becoming, you're not working for anyone. It's not a permanent job. You work when you want, you collect when you want, you can sell when you want. So you have that flexibility. So for women especially, with kids, it's very easy for them to work with this. And we are making sure that it's more hygienic, you know.
If it is segregated, we at least know what is in there.
Exactly.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because now we're just throwing our hands into.
You don't know what.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So that's problematic, and I remember that story. So let's talk about that. I don't know how much you are aware of the startup ecosystem in Ethiopia. I'm sorry to say that because you don't engage in those events and those usually the people we call here.
Yeah.
They are on stages. They're
Yeah.
on at the hotels at these events and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much you are into that, but I just wanted to ask how the Ethiopian startup ecosystem actually received Yukan, and how were you received, just as an ecosystem, and from what you understood, what do you think needs to be done so that startups like Yukan could actually easily flourish, because that's what we want to do here with this show.
So I'm aware of the ecosystem in Addis in Ethiopia because you have quite a few startups coming up, and I use quite a few of them. You have Ride, you have Deliver Addis, there are many right now. You have new startups coming up every day. So yes, I am aware, and they are also scaling up. They are now going to other cities as well, moving outside of Addis. One of the challenges that I see is, other than the Addis Ababa area, moving outside is not easy. It's very difficult.
Yes.
For many reasons. Biggest one being safety.
Yes. Of course.
Today, if I want to reach a small town in Oromia, about 200 kilometers away, I might not be able to reach them, or I might not want to go there. So the government has to make sure of the safety for its people. That is the most important. Then your country can flourish. Ethiopia will flourish if you can make this country safe, because there is so much opportunity, So yes, I don't participate in a lot of these events.
That is what I meant.
Yeah, we don't, but we are on the ground. We know what's happening. We are in the country. We can see what's happening. And if the government can make it a little bit more easier for startups to start working and make their tax laws easier, or give them some incentives, I think more startups will come up over here, because now you have young population, people who want new things, who want to explore new things. So yeah, I think it will flourish even more. Yeah.
So as an individual, as an Indian actually, a place where so many startups have flourished, and actually some of them are like the biggest unicorns now, well known all over the planet. So what do you think is the one thing, two things maybe? So what do you think is the one thing that we have to do, whether as a government or an ecosystem or as a startup ourselves? So what do you think what is working in India and what is not working here? I understand about the safety aspect.
Yeah, no, other than that.
Yeah.
The economic aspect also. India has a lot of consumption.
Yes.
India is a big market. It has more than 1.4 billion people and growing. So that is one thing.
And educated.
Yeah. Disposable income. Young population. I mean, I think more than 50% of our population is less than 50, or maybe more. I'm not sure of that number.
Okay.
But we are a young population. We have a very robust economic environment. It is easy for outsiders to come and invest. Today we have a lot of foreign investors. That is missing over here. That is missing in Ethiopia. Today, even when I am trying to get investment for my company and tell them I'm working in Africa, I'm working in Ethiopia, they are not always forthcoming.
They have second thoughts.
Yes, second thought, or maybe have no thoughts, But that is something that is very advantageous in India, or even China for that matter. Now these are advanced economies, and economically they're doing very well. They're growing. Ethiopia is also growing, but until unless people people don't let the investors in, or they don't let themselves in, it will be very difficult. So there has to be some policy changes or changes in the government, in your banking, in your investment environment, for those people to come in. Because until unless that doesn't happen, it will be very difficult for any company to grow.
Yeah.
So today,
not just the startups.
Today, my company is in the UK, but we are working over here. So whenever I tell them, any investor, that we are working in Africa and our focus is Africa, because I see the opportunity over here. I've been here for a long time. I see the growth potential. I see the opportunity. They all tell me that yes, you're doing a very good job and we are very happy with what you're doing, but Africa is not in our geography where we invest. So that is the answer that we get most of the time. So yeah, that way it is very difficult, and that is where India is getting the advantage. Yeah. Because it is a safe economic environment. Today when I put my money in, I can also take it out.
Yes.
That is a bit difficult over here.
Yes. That is very difficult.
Yeah.
I have that young woman I told you about, who is establishing small container factories alongside farms. She once told me she wanted to bring in $30,000 to support her startup, and she just couldn't. So they just told her no.
Yeah.
You
maybe that time investment was not allowed in that sector.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was just so surprised.
Yeah.
This is a country that is looking for dollars and at the same time pushing away dollars, and sometimes not only taking it out, sometimes bringing it in is also a problem.
Yes, bringing it in also is a problem. You can't just bring in. Today if I need money from outside, I just can't bring it in my account. I have to bring it in, then I have to make sure I have the permission from all the authorities and it is registered. So there are a lot of formalities to be done for that. Yeah.
So maybe the India example may not be the right one, given India is India, right? And you have experience with other African countries.
Yes.
Can you think of a lesson that we can draw from another African country? Maybe that could be easier one.
I think the problems that most African countries face are similar. Sometimes it's more
serious.
Sometimes it's not. It's less serious or less of a problem. But most countries face the same issues. Now you can leave some countries apart, like South Africa or Morocco or Ghana, because comparatively they are better. But otherwise, most of the nations are in the same basket, in the same place. It is challenging for anybody to come into Africa, in any country, not just Ethiopia, and work over here and invest over here, because Forex is a problem in most of the nations. But in some countries, it is easier for you to buy and sell Forex. Ethiopia has a lot of stringent laws. It's not so easy. That's why it's easier, like in Rwanda, even they have a shortage of dollars, like Ethiopia does. But they are like, you can buy it from the market, you can officially buy it from the market and you can put it in the bank. So that makes it easier. Now, countries like Kenya, they are a bit more advanced compared to Ethiopia, because they have a lot of tourism, they have industry since a very long time, maybe because of the colonial rule and stuff like that. So that can be an advantage for them and a disadvantage for Ethiopia. That's the only thing I'm seeing over here. So the way Kenya and Tanzania have grown and developed, Ethiopia will take some time to get there, unless it opens up its economic sectors.
We are trying to do some of those things now. I don't know how carefully we are doing them, but we are trying to do some of the things, some of the opening up.
No, they have opened up quite a few sectors. Banking, they want international banks to come in. Trading, they have opened to the foreigners. But still, you're not seeing too many people coming in.
Because of the climate.
Yes, because of the climate. Also, there has to be policy certainty. There is no it can change anytime.
Yes.
So until unless that doesn't, there's no certainty in what we are bringing in what is going to happen, investors will find it very difficult to come in.
Yeah. I have a boss who used to say, investment is like a bird on your fence, and it could just fly away if you sneeze.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure everything is quiet for the bird to stay.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and we have that serious problem. I get that. So for the next 5 years or so, on a national level, on an African level, and maybe on a global level, where do you think Yukan would go?
So we started this project with the idea that we are going to take it worldwide, whole of Africa and again worldwide, because we want to connect worldwide waste, make sure that waste is available everywhere, people are getting the recycled products they need, the material they need. So yes, ultimately our aim is to make sure we are all around the world, but first we want to make sure we are all around Africa. We want to first make
Do you think that will happen in the next 5 years?
I hope so, at least not in the whole of Africa, at least in another 10 or 12 neighboring countries. We want to start moving from here to the neighboring countries. So yeah, we hope so. In the next 5 years, we'll be at least in the next 10, 12 countries.
Yeah. I definitely hope that would happen, and I wish you all the best. The next thing, I just want to end this on a less serious note.
Okay.
Which is, we have talked about this when we met at Skylight, where we usually meet.
Yeah.
I asked you whether you prefer coffee or chai, which is the popular one in India.
Both are popular now, but we are mostly tea drinkers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends on the time of the day. I am mostly consuming tea.
Even here.
Even here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you considered coffee?
I do have coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of coffee. But
yeah, that's.
I prefer.
Yeah.
Health-wise, I prefer tea.
Yeah, that was what you were telling me last time. You have just become a very, increasingly coffee drinker these days.
I'm trying to reduce my coffee intake.
Yeah, yeah. So how about this? Do you enjoy? This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy Mumbai or Addis more?
I enjoy both for different purposes. Like
what?
Mumbai is my home.
Of course.
It's
I go
these days I only go there for vacations.
Yeah.
So when I'm there, it's a holiday for me.
Yeah.
But Addis is also, I enjoy my work over here. I like this place, the weather.
Yeah.
So
you always say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Addis weather is just great because I've mostly lived these days. I'm mostly between Addis and Dubai. So Dubai currently is like steaming, steaming hot.
Yeah.
So it's very, very hot. So I enjoy staying in Addis. Yeah.
Yes, you are indeed a very good friend to Ethiopia. Your father has been a very good friend to Ethiopia.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best. And we definitely will stay with you as El Fadais and as Rise Addis.
Thank you.
We'll be documenting this journey.
Sure.
And of course, supporting you in the awareness creation and all that. We'll keep doing that. And thank you very much for coming.
Thanks, Adisu. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.